What's going on, guys? It's Keefe. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how to really do a dopamine detox. You know, most people who make videos on dopamine detoxes, they give this strategy that only produces short-term results, and it's a big waste of time. So what I want to do in this video is give you a far more effective way to do a dopamine detox so that you can get long-term results, because that's what we're here for. We're not here for a quick burst. We're here to make this a lifestyle of success and productivity. Now, before we get into that, I made this channel to help men create their ideal lives through self-mastery. So be sure to hit the bell icon and subscribe button so you don't miss new videos, because I put out new videos every single day. Now let's get into the video. Now, I don't want to waste too much time talking about what a dopamine detox is, because so many videos have already been made on that subject. I'll link to one I made on it so you can get the full info on that if you need to pause this video and come back to it, just so you know what a dopamine detox is. But in short, there are certain bad behaviors that we are all very compulsive about doing that emit dopamine. And dopamine is a chemical in your body that causes you to be motivated. So what happens when you do these low-level behaviors, things like watch porn or scroll on social media, eat junk food, sugary foods, things like that, is you trigger dopamine, and it convinces your brain that you're getting a reward. So what happens is you are less motivated to take action on the things that will actually move you forward, because your brain thinks it's getting rewards and it's moving forward when it does these low-level behaviors. So basically, what you're doing when you do these low-level behaviors is tricking your brain into thinking you are accomplishing things. So moving forward with this, a lot of times what dopamine detoxes prescribe, what the people who make the videos tell you to do, is that you should take this whole day, shut all this stuff off, and do nothing for an entire day so you can rewire your dopamine receptors. This is, first of all, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Most things take longer than a day to come back down, right? Like if you were addicted to caffeine, it takes more than a day staying off caffeine to not be a caffeine addict. If you're addicted to drugs, it's the same thing. If you're addicted to alcohol, porn, we all know this. Things take longer than a day. So I don't understand where the whole one day thing even came from. But I guess it just sounds good, but it doesn't work. Because if you've ever tried this, what happens is after a couple days, you go right back to doing the bad behaviors that you're not supposed to do, and your motivation goes away. So what I'm getting ready to share with you, we're going to go right over to the whiteboard, and I'm going to explain step by step a far better way to do a dopamine detox that's going to get you long-term results and a complete personality transformation. So let's go get into that right now. All right, guys, so here is step one. It's a 4-step process to actually do an effective dopamine detox that's going to turn you into the person who does hard things naturally, because that's what we want. You want to be able to effortlessly sit down at the computer and bang out 5 hours of work on your business without distraction, or you want to hit the gym without feeling like I'd rather go eat bad food and watch Netflix. That's what we're trying to do, is make this a part of who you are, and what this system's going to do is do that for you. Step one is you got to eliminate what I call the dopamine saps. These are the things that sap your dopamine that you don't want to sap your dopamine. Things like porn, junk food, social media, alcohol, video games. There's a lot of these. There's a lot of ones, and the key is you need to identify the personal triggers. What are the things that you get so fixated on that aren't helping you move forward, that are holding you back from doing the things that'll actually get you moving to where you want to go in life? 3 days. You need to remove these for 3 days completely. I know on a regular dopamine detox, it's 1 day, but what we're going to do here is extend this, but you're not going to sit around bored for 3 days, okay? I think that's so dumb that you sit on your bed doing nothing for an entire day, which is the typical dopamine detox. And it just doesn't work. It's like a gimmick. So what we're doing, the reason we're doing 3 days is because it gives you more time to wean yourself off of these behaviors and to start reinforcing the positive momentum of doing the things that are actually getting you somewhere. So it becomes easier and easier to do those things rather than these other things. It feels more natural to do these other things. Because if you just stop doing everything for an entire day, all you're doing is just you're resuming who you were the next day. So it doesn't make any sense. We're trying to make a transformation in who you are so you become the kind of person who easily does hard things. So now that we have eliminated the behaviors that are not helping us, that are sapping that dopamine so that we don't have the drive to go do the things that'll actually move us forward, it's time to figure out what we're actually trying to move towards, because remember how dopamine works. Dopamine works by it is emitted when your mind believes that you are on the right path to achieving a reward. So you need to establish clear rewards in your head. A lot of people aren't clear on the rewards. They think they should go work out, but they're not that clear in their head on what exactly the goal looks like. Maybe they have a general idea, I want abs, but they don't know what their body looks like when they've accomplished their goal. So you're not helping your dopamine receptors if you don't give them a clear visual goal. So step 2 is to establish clear goals. What do you want? Here's a few main examples: finances, health, lifestyle, but really it comes down to you getting clear on the things that will move you forward. Maybe it's about getting better at talking to girls, and right now the dopamine sap is you're focused on dating apps and porn, and you want to go out and talk to girls. Okay, well, that would be a goal. What does that outcome look like for you? You need to get clear on this so you can let your dopamine receptors work for you, get them to help you, because now that we have eliminated the bad things, we want your dopamine to start working on the good things. Step 3 of the dopamine detox is process visualization. You want to visualize the immediate steps to goal accomplishment, because remember how dopamine works. This is so critical. If dopamine is emitted when your mind, your brain feels that you are on the way to achieving a reward, well, if you visualize the process and you start taking action on that process, you are reinforcing that you are on the way to the reward. So then the dopamine will be emitted. So what you want to do is you want to get clear on the steps to achieving the goal. Focus on the process. Get immersed in the process through process visualization. Visualize positive results from the steps you're taking. This will just continue to emit dopamine. This is how you get your body to get on your side. Get your brain to get on your side. That's what we want. You don't want to fight yourself. You want to use yourself to the best of its abilities, and that's about getting your dopamine receptors working for you. So along with this, you just got to take action. Get clear on the process and then start moving. Then the dopamine gets emitted. It's that simple. A lot of times people visualize a goal, but then they procrastinate, and so the dopamine doesn't get to work for them, and then they start doing the bad behaviors because they're easier. And so the dopamine's not doing what it needs to be doing. It's not helping you get to where you want to go in life. So an example of how this works, so for me, I want to get to 100,000 YouTube subscribers. That's a goal, all right? So that would be the clear goal I have established. The process is me visualizing I'm making the best videos for my audience. I'm getting all these new subscribers. I'm getting all these views. I'm getting people signed up for my program so that I can continue to do this full time. I'm visualizing that. I'm visualizing creating great videos. So every time I put a video out, I'm just reinforcing to myself that I'm achieving my goal, because the very act of taking steps towards the goal is the achievement of the goal, because without the goal there, you wouldn't be taking the steps. So get that into your head. Remember that. And remember to visualize the process. This will get the dopamine receptors working for you. You'll start firing off dopamine because you're moving towards the goals. And it makes it to whereas typically when people are very goal-oriented, their dopamine receptors don't go off. They don't shoot off dopamine until they get to the goal, because they're not recognizing that the process is the achievement of the goal. So once you get into this mindset of visualizing doing a great job on the process, it becomes easier and easier because you're getting the reward over and over again simply by doing the process. The fourth and final step of the dopamine detox is to put the new behaviors on autopilot, because here's the thing. This is where the dopamine detoxes, the traditional ones, fuck up, in my opinion. What happens if you just take a whole day off and then you get really motivated and amped up to take some action real quick is you're still not changing who you are at the core. And understand that the most important thing for your ego, for your subconscious mind, is to live in accordance with its self-image, the way you see yourself. So just because you take a day off in the traditional dopamine detox and then get really fired up and take some actions for a day or two, you're going to go right back to who you see yourself as being. So that's the problem, and that's why we need time to stretch this thing out and to start seeing yourself as a new person. So this is what it's about, to put new behaviors on autopilot. 95% of your behavior is subconscious. You just do certain things that you don't even notice you're doing, right? If you're driving down the road, sometimes you're not even paying attention to the road. It's subconscious. It's a habit. You've trained it into you. You know how to do it. So we want to do that with other behaviors. So the way to do this is you need to confirm the new identity. So while you're taking these new actions for these 3 days, you need to be reminding yourself, hey, I'm going to the gym because this is who I am. I go to the gym. I'm the kind of guy who has a great body. Or, hey, I'm building my business because I'm the kind of guy who has a great business. You want to keep confirming this into yourself so it feels more and more natural. An example for me is, like, I can be in as big of a funk as I want to be. I mean, as I happen to be. I don't need a dopamine detox to go to the gym. It doesn't matter where my motivation level's at. It's autopilot. I've been doing this for so long that it feels weird if I don't go to the gym. And you can do that too. You just got to train things to be a habit. And this is where, again, this confirmation comes in. Your present identity lacks the discipline and the results, or you wouldn't even be trying to do a dopamine detox. If you were killing the game in business and in your health and all this stuff, you wouldn't be worried about even watching this video. So what that says to me is that the new identity doesn't do these certain behaviors. So it doesn't matter if you do a dopamine detox if you don't change your self-image to the person who does these behaviors naturally, because you'll just give in eventually and go back to who you are. So what you want to do is, again, confirm the new identity and focus on training the new behaviors by consistently doing them, consistently setting the tone that this is who I am. I go to the gym, I build my business, I talk to girls, whatever it is. Over time, this will become natural for you. Now, guys, if you want to make this a true lifestyle of self-development, self-improvement, I recommend you check out my video right here on Monk Mode. That's what that's all about. If you got something out of this video, give me a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my new videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.